By the end of this video, you will be able to identify the discriminant by hand and identify the discriminant by graphing tool. Here are the steps for finding the discriminant. First, you'll want to identify the a, b, and c of the equation from standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. Second, you'll substitute your values into the discriminant formula, b squared minus 4 times a times c. Last step is to simplify and find your discriminant. Let's try 3 different examples. First, I'll go through each example by hand, and then I'll go back through each example using a graphing tool. Example 1 is 4x squared plus 8x minus 6 equals 0. The first step is to identify the a, b, and c of the equation from the standard form ax squared plus bx plus c. In example 1, the a is 4, because that's the value next to x squared. B is 8, because that's the value next to x. And c is negative 6. That's the constant, or the value that's not next to a variable. In step 2, I need to substitute all values into the discriminant formula b squared minus 4ac. The first thing I'm going to do is replace b, a, and c with parentheses. This helps me remember which items I'm going to substitute. I'm going to replace b with 8. I'll replace a with 4. And I'll replace c with negative 6. The last step is to simplify to find the discriminant. Eight squared is 64. Negative 4 times 4 is 16. Negative 16. Negative 16 times negative 6 is positive 96. 64 plus 96 is 160. 160 is my discriminant. Example 2. 8x squared plus 5x plus 1 equals 0. First, we're going to identify the a, b, and c of the equation. A is equal to 8. B is equal to positive 5. And C is equal to 1. Step 2 is to substitute or replace the values into the discriminant formula. I'm going to replace the B, the A, and the C with parentheses so I know exactly what to replace and when to replace it. B is 5. A is 8. And C is 1. Next, we're going to simplify. Five squared is 25. Negative 4 times 8 is negative 32. Times 1 is still negative 32. 25 minus 32 is equal to negative 7. Our discriminant is negative 7. Example 3. X squared minus x plus 7 equals 0. First, we're going to identify the A, B, and C of the equation. Finding A, B, and C can be a little tricky when you don't see a number in front of your variables, such as x squared or negative x. But if you don't see a value in front of your x or x squared, it's because the value is 1. For example, x squared, the A value is 1. For minus x, it's actually negative 1 in front of the x. And for C, we have positive 7. Next, we're going to substitute our values back into b squared minus 4 times a times c. Let's replace the b with parentheses, the a with parentheses, and the c with parentheses. We're going to fill the parentheses with the values that belong. I'm going to substitute negative 1 for b, 1 for a, and 7 for c. Next, I'm going to simplify. This is our last step before we finish finding the discriminant. Negative 1 squared is positive 1. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. 1 minus 28 is negative 27. So our discriminant is equal to negative 27. Now we're going to identify the discriminant using the same 3 examples, only this time we're going to use the graphing technology Desmos. Example number 1 was 4x squared plus 8x minus 6 equals 0. I still need to identify my A, B, and C before inserting my information into Desmos. In our example, the A value is 4, the B value is 8, and the C value is negative 6. Our discriminant is still b squared minus 4ac. So I'm going to substitute the values we found for A, B, and C with the letters they belong to in the discriminant formula. When using Desmos graphing calculator, I can use the buttons and create a shell. For B, I'm going to replace B with parentheses and square it. Then I'll subtract 4 and multiply blank parentheses for A and C. Right now, I have an error code because I need to put some information in these parentheses. For B, I'm going to put 8, A, 4, and C, negative 6. As a result, my answer is 160, just as it was when we did it by hand. Let's try another. Example 2, 8x squared plus 5x plus 1 equals 0. The A value is 8, the B value is 5, and the C value is 1. Let's replace the B, A, and C of the discriminant with the values we have. The B was 5, the A is 8, and the C is 1. My final answer is negative 7. Example 3, x squared minus x plus 7 equals 0. First, we need to identify the A, B, and C values of the given example. A is 1, B is -1, and C is 7. I'm going to use the buttons on Desmos to help me replace the values in the discriminant. I'm going to replace B with parentheses squared minus 4 times parentheses twice. I'll replace B with -1, A with +1, and C with +7. My final answer for my discriminant is -27. At this time, we've identified the discriminant by hand and by using a graphing tool based on 3 given examples. I hope you found this video helpful.